One last parameter to take into account is the exposure time, also called shutter speed, but it's actually a time, not a speed, so I'm going to keep calling it as such. For this particular video camera right now, we have 25 frames per second, and we have an exposure time for each one of those frames that's currently set at 1/30th of a second. That's perfectly good for slow-moving people and things like me talking to you right now, or for this Newton pendulum where the balls are moving slowly. However, if the objects you want to take a photo of are moving quickly, you want to use a much shorter exposure time. This 1/30th of a second really is not going to work. So look at this colorful disc now. I'm going to spin it and you're going to stop seeing the colors. They're all going to be blended together. And if I spin it really, really fast, it's all gray. And even if you were to stop this video and look at just one static frame now, you would see that that disc is gray. You can no longer tell the colors apart because they're moving too fast during that relatively slow exposure time, relatively long exposure time, which is 1/30th of a second. Let's play a little with the exposure times. Let's watch what happens with this video camera, which of course goes a video rate, so it captures 25 static frames per second. In each one of those static frames, however, it has a specific exposure time, which is determined manually. So now we set it to be 1/60th of a second. What that means is that if I have a frequency generator here that outputs 60 hertz and I power with it an LED, this LED blinks once every time in that frame. And of course you can't see it. This is blinking 60 times a second, and you're gonna see one blink per frame. So now they're all overlapping in this image. But if I rotate this LED around, you're gonna see one blink per frame, and they're gonna be nicely separated. If instead I increase the frequency, say for example I go to 120, so I should see 2 blinks per frame. Let's see if it's true. 2 blinks per frame. 3. Let me go to 180. At 180 hertz, this blinks 180 times per second. In a 60th of a second, you're going to see 3 blinks. So each frame of this video camera is showing 3 LED blinks. Let's go 5 times. So that's going to be 300 hertz. At 300 hertz, you should be able to see this 5 times. Blinks, 5 blinks per frame. Let's go to 600, so you should see 10 blinks per frame. And when I get to 600 hertz, you should be able to see 10 blinks of the LED per frame. Let's see. Do you see 10 blinks? Yeah, I hope so. And in the end, let's show a static image that has 1 blink, 2 blinks, 3 blinks, 5 blinks, 10 blinks. Thank you.